that being said, they had the worst record in the division. So we got to start off in the NFC West with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't know if we have a Call of Duty. Oh, I thought we had a Call of Duty background or something. I ain't know. I ain't know. The jokes will fly until he proves us wrong. But then again, you know what, Kyler? You did us a solid. And when the Eagles was losing, you made sure you put the nail in the coffin. So there we go. But they won the Super Bowl, so we can't shoot too many shots. But we're going to start it off just like this. The Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon, head coach. We already know Kyler Murray is the quarterback. We know they got Marvin Harrison Jr. Last year. We also know that they can run the ball when they feel like it. But I'm trying to see, did they pull my draft picks up? They did. There we go. So they in the draft, they went and got a defensive tackle. They got cornerback Will Johnson from Michigan. One of the picks that everybody seen fall, and they were just wondering where he was going to end up. So he ended up here. Those are just a few of the additions that happened. So, Joe, with that being said, Kyler Murray, quarterback. What's your prediction for him?
I think this is I'm not going to say make or break year, but this is a year for Kyler Murray where is he going to be a Cardinal for an extensive time or is he going to go somewhere else? I think he's good enough to get another job, obviously. He's talented, all that stuff. He just a roller coaster. He's up and down. I feel like when he always starts off looking like one of the few best quarterbacks in the league. He's very talented. He's very accurate. He's a good quarterback. But then in the second half of the season, he falls off every time. And I think a lot of that is with his injuries. He's a small, undersized quarterback and stuff like that. So when you look at last year, Kyler Murray threw for 3,800 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And they added a new weapon with Marvin Harrison Jr. Remember that beef? Not beef. Remember that incident where he wasn't really throwing him the ball early in the season? The reporters, they questioned him about it, and he basically was like, it's the coordinator's job to make that happen. And we we on the show, especially Dave, you the quarterback. Like, you the one throwing the ball. So, and then after that, I think the game after that is when he went crazy. I think it's when he went crazy, and then we had a whole debate about who had a better day between him and Jaden Daniels. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember those segments.
Yes, sir. Right.
You got to bring those back.
But he threw for 3,800 yards, close to 4,000. You look at their moves in the offseason, like you said. First of all, in the draft, they addressed the defense heavy in the draft. As you can see, they didn't draft not one offensive player. Everybody was on the defensive side of the ball. But last year they got Marvin Harrison Jr. They added Josh Sweat also on the defense, and they got a backup, Jacoby Brissett, which I think is a good backup because Kyler Murray's injury is iffy. But I always feel like the Cardinals is around that 7-win team, but they can always be higher than that because they have Kyler Murray's a talented quarterback. Jonathan Gannon, this is his third year with this team, building a culture there. So what I'm gonna say with Kyler Murray, I think he's going to have around the same amount of yards, like 3,800 yards. I'm going to say a little bit more touchdowns, though. I'm going to say 25 touchdowns, and we're going to stick with like 10 to 12, 10 to 13 interceptions. But the key thing is the 25 touchdowns for me.
Okay. So, Joe, it's funny that you, when you said you the quarterback, you know what I was thinking about. You the dog.
You the dog?
He said, I see a wide open wide receiver and you ain't throwing a pass to him. He's like, dog under the dresser. You lucky he ain't bite you. That was what Joe was basically saying.
Hey, bro, that's my mother's like one of her favorite parts in that movie.
Bruh, I love that scene, bruh. Oh, man. Make sure y'all tune in the red corner, bro. Me and Ricky, that's one of our favorite go-to quotes, man. And shout out to J-Mo for pointing it out one time in the comments. But let's get back to football. So with Kyler Murray, I think the jokes write themselves when we talk about Call of Duty and it being around October and, double XP weekend and things like that. And it's just like Kyler Murray don't play good when that comes out. And then we also know about his contract where they put it in his actual contract that he needs to study film. And there's a lot of things where you go there. So I'm with you on that, Joe. I'm not saying it's a make or break season for him, but it is a prove it season. Because it's like, all right, here we go again. We got our head coach. This is his third year. We got you your number one target, and we seen Marvin Harrison. He hit the gym. He all bulked up and stuff like that. So it's like now the relationship is there. I think they also added Trey McBride to the offense too. So with that being said, I know you said around about 38. I'm gonna put the press on him just like I did for Trevor Lawrence in the last episode. Is I want to see you throw for over 4,000. So I'm looking for 42. Give us 42 and show us
Okay.
that you're one of the best quarterbacks in this league. Because again, when we start talking about quarterbacks, we kind of leave his name off of these lists. Now, even though we mostly are talking about top tens, but we leave his name off of top 20 lists sometimes. We'll talk about Tua before we talk about Kyler Murray.
Mm.
And it's like, come on, man. I know he feels the slight there and the disrespect. So I say about 42. I'm gonna bump it up to 28 touchdowns, and with more passes, of course, it's gonna be a little bit more risk it for the biscuit. So he may throw 10 to 13 interceptions, but this is one of those seasons where you need to prove it and stamp your name as one of those quarterbacks that, hey, I'm a dog too.
And he's top 10 worthy though. He has a top 10 talent. He
That
could
is
easily be
true.
top 10. And think about it, Tomo, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new weapons, and it's the same results. So like that's why I think it's a make or break it season with him in the Cardinals because he's the only person that's there for like constantly.
The
They got a good
consistency.
running game. Connor has been good running back for them. They had DeAndre Hopkins, who was having a good year, and as soon as he got hurt, Kyler Murray went down to the dumpsters. They
That
went
is
and
true.
drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. So it's like, yo, what's up? Like, what you gonna
Yeah.
do? So he has to perform. He have his moments, like, and then like he's a dual threat quarterback. That's a premium in today's NFL.
Yeah.
So and we just talked about they addressed the defense. Jonathan Gannon, a defensive minded coach. He's got his guy Sway. He drafted all defensive people. So the defense should be better. They have been dealing with injuries since Jonathan Gannon been there, but there's no excuses, Kyler Murray. Can you at least get us to the playoffs? Made it to the playoffs one time his whole career and got smoked by the Rams. So yeah, make or break.
Yeah. I'm just saying, hey, Kyler. Good thing you don't play in Dallas because you go crazy when you play in Dallas. You might have been a little bit better if you played in Dallas, but good thing you ain't a Dallas Cowboy because the criticism that you hearing from us, 10 times worse,
Facts.
10 times.
If if he was in Dallas, whew, he'll be getting crushed. But like
Hmm.
last year, he had 572 rushing yards, like and 5 touchdowns. You think he could do that again, or more or less? How about this? You taking the over and under on 572?
I like where you're going with that. I'm gonna take the over on it because I
Mm,
think he will run the football a little bit more because again, this is a new season and he may have to prove himself. But when you said dual threat, I also thought about this too. He's a dual threat quarterback that also knows how to get down. Like it's not like he
yes,
takes big hits at times, so it's kind of that baseball mentality kicks in.
he don't. Yeah,
What's
it's
your
a
take?
red zone.
You going
I
over
think he,
under?
I think he going. If he gonna get more, like okay, if he's gonna get what you say he gonna get, I would say under.
Mm,
But I'm gonna say over too. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna say over. But it's gonna
yeah,
not nothing crazy though. Maybe he might hit. The
literally one
highest in his
yard
career
over.
was 819.
I don't think he's going that. I don't think he's going that high. If he got to run
But
that much, then I mean, there's a lot of read options and wildcats being called.
but the reason why he hasn't really gotten like he had like year before that he had 244. He only played 8 games.
Hmm.
So like he's on track to hit this every year for real. He had 423, 14 games, 418, 11 games. Like he's literally like the man the man be on track for 500, 600 every year.
You know what, Joe? I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Uh-oh.
He's a poor man version of Jaden Daniels, and it's only 1 year. I know the world gonna kill me. It's only 1 year, but I see that type of quarterback. If
Mm.
if Kyler Murray was the lock in, he would be what Jaden Daniels is to the NFL right now.
Kyler Murray is super talented. When
That's
you
what
hear
I'm
people
saying.
talk about Kyler Murray when he was in college, people who's from the South, they rave about Kyler Murray. Like he was like the example. Like I'm trying to get to Kyler Murray level. And then
Yeah.
he has a talent. It's just that maybe too much modern warfare. I don't know.
Well, lock in and don't worry about your kill death ratio. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna talk about this over under right quick. We're gonna keep on the motto of over unders. So we gotta talk about the schedule. Vegas got them set at 8.5. Joe, I think it's under. I think they win just 8 games.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go under too. It's tough because like, they have the potential, and I don't. Like, they have the potential, but would I be surprised to get over 8? No, but I'm gonna go under too. I'm gonna go under. They gotta pay
Actually,
that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna stay under, but if it was one game to determine the over, it would be that Dallas game because I just told you Kyler Murray plays great in Dallas, and it's a
Monday
Monday
night.
night in Dallas, so that'll be the one game. And the Cowboys known for giving up a game, and that'll be the one.
Yeah, I'm going to read the schedule
All
for the
right.
viewers. Week 1 at New Orleans, home against the Panthers, at 49ers. I feel like they get the 49ers once a year, except for that one year when the 49ers swept the division. Home against the Seahawks, home against the Titans, at Colts, home against Green Bay, at Dallas, at Seahawks, home against 49ers, home against the Jags, at Bucks, home against the Rams, it's a tough stretch, at Texans, home against the Falcons, at Bengals, at Rams. Woo! 49ers, if the Jags are good this year, first y'all. Green Green Bay, y'all, Seahawks a division game, 49ers a division game, Jags if they're good, Bucks, Rams, Texans, Falcons, Bengals, all those teams are potential playoff teams.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my under. I'm sticking. See,
That's a crazy.
the NFL is it's a crazy ladies at times, man. You never know what's gonna happen with them.
Never know.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the under. I'm not even going. I'm
I'm
not
going
going.
under.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm not gonna go too crazy. So with that being said, you wanna we can mix X factors and bold predictions. It like I said on the last episode, if we have an X factor, we can announce it. More so bold prediction. I know we're gonna have one of those. So Joe, what's your bold prediction?
Well, I don't have an X Factor bowl prediction, but I'm
Okay.
curious about
Hmm.
Jonathan Gannon. I want to
Okay.
see him year 3 with the Cardinals. I want to see the consistency with the defense, and I just want to see like, do I sense a culture being built over there, a winning culture. Coming from Philly, who went to the Super Bowl, because he has to redeem himself. Like everybody in Philly blaming him on why they lost that Super Bowl. They all blaming him in the turf. But yeah, they blaming him in the turf.
But when I said something about Kep, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you know they are. Oh, he switched up. So he got. I want to see him, like Mark said, locked in.
I do
This
find it. Sorry,
go ahead.
I was say I do find it funny that the field that they lost on, granted it's not the same turf, but the stadium that they lost in is the stadium that he now coaches in. So it's kind of like an omen where it's just like, are you sure this was the right destination?
I know they send him over there.
Like they said, no, you just stay. You don't even got to worry about packing your bags. We'll send your stuff back down here. You can keep him. He is okay. But
That's funny.
instead of I'm gonna put Gannon and Kyler Murray together as far
Okay.
as what your question is. I think they're a package duel. And I also just want to see a little bit more from Marvin Harrison too, because coming out of the draft, we already know what they were talking about. It was neighbors, it was him. Then it's like who's gonna be the better of the two, the season,
Mhm.
how it started. So it's kind of like I really just want to see what this offense is gonna look like. I know Gannon can get the defense back in point, but I want to see what this offense can do.
Yeah, I can't wait to see all that stuff, man. NFL is around the corner.
Oh, it is. Look what we're talking about.